Right, okay, so you're here applying for the position of editor for These Things Suck, and your name is Joe Johnston, is it?
You know it's Joe. We've been working together for years already.
Don't think that favoritism is going to be a part of this, my friend. So what makes you think you're qualified to take on a project as sexually alluring and utterly groundbreaking as These Things Suck on the gaming channel?
Well, the fact that I've edited These Things Suck several times before, which probably makes me pretty fucking qualified.
Well, yeah, I guess that does actually make you pretty qualified, much more so than the other person I interviewed. It was just some guy that I met down at the deli meat counter. He seemed pretty aggressive when I talked to him about his Premiere Pro skills. It was a weird conversation.
Listen, Jules, I've already given myself the job. I'm currently editing together the skit of me applying for the job. Look, do you want to see? Look, here it is. Here it is. Here it is in Premiere Pro. And there's you.
Oh dear, it's getting pretty meta now, isn't it? And that makes me angry. I don't like to question my own reality, which means it's a perfect time to start These Things Suck, another not list from yours truly, Jules Gill, here at WhatCulture.com. And today we're talking about video game items that absolutely suck. Now I know what you're thinking to yourself. Jules, you magnanimous, snowy eagle of a man. Why the hell are you doing this? You've already done items that suck before on These Things Suck, but wait, hold thy horses, my friend, because this is slightly different. We're talking about video game items that suck on purpose, where the developer took time, money, love, pour it into an item that absolutely, irrefutably sucks, just so that they could have a laugh at you, the player, and that makes me goddamn bloody fizzing. So let's take a look at them. As I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com. This is another not list, and these video game items suck on purpose. This is the thing, nobody likes being hard up when it comes to cash, especially if it means that you now have to choose between different options with your very finite resources. It's like, do I go down for a sociable pint with my friends down the boozer, or do I pay my girlfriend's hostage fees who's being kept somewhere in deepest, darkest Peru? Well, as this certificate for coming in third at the local pub quiz shows, I probably shouldn't ever be put in these situations. Sorry, Carrie. Therefore, it really grates my giblets when I see items like the poverty board from Snowboard Kids, which not only is a complete middle-of-the-road board when it comes to its stats, but actively and bizarrely steals your fucking money as you ride it. Seriously, in what universe would I want to buy a board that just is worse than most of the other things that I can buy, have it steal my money, and then be left with a ride about as satisfying as a bucking bronco where the saddle is made of hypodermic needles? However, while this is quite literally the devs having a laugh at your expense, it's not the only board that bungles my whiz, as the ice board is utter smelly garbage. Now I know that these games are about getting from point A to point B in as fast a time as possible, but rarely are the courses of this game a straight line, so it's literally here where the ice board falls over, because while it is incredibly quick, the handling on it is piss poor, and you will most likely be finding yourself with a face full of white powder, enough so that Scarface gets bloody jealous. It is an absolute pieced taker, because one joke board was bad enough, but two? Come on, devs, you're having a giggle. So I think that by now we all know that the Dark Souls games are pretty much what it's like to be in a horror film. You're constantly being hunted in the dark, completely alone, and when you do cry out for help, the only sounds that you hear back are prolonged screaming from other people. It's pretty brutal, to say the least. Which makes any slight glimmer of hope shine that much brighter in these games, from finding a new item, weapon, or just a place where you're not getting stabbed betwixt thy cheeks at every given opportunity, and therefore we hold on to these moments. Well, along comes From Software to slap those good times away once more, even having the gall to treat the character creation menu as a place to totally, utterly mess with the player. That's right, before the game even fucking begins, Hidetaka Miyazaki and his team thought that it was fair game to mess with you by offering up this strange and mysterious pendant as a starting item. Now, it's never expressly stated what the item does, only that it might be useful, and as a hardcore gamer TM, trademark, that you've got to think to yourself, yeah, I'll take this, and it will pay off dividends in the long run, right? Wrong! Because, my friend, there is indeed a secret about this item, but that secret is that you're a bloody mug for picking it, as it literally does nothing. Miyazaki even went on record to state that he wanted to use the item as a bit of a practical joke to see what lengths that players would go to in trying to find out what it did. Oh, Hidetaka, oh, you cheeky little whippet, you adorable little scamp, you fucking prick. What the fuck were you doing? I could barely get past through the first fucking level, and now you want to pull this shit with me? You absolute cunt. Pendant? More like pen, don't fuck with me this early on, please. Please. I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. I'm bored already. I've got nothing else left. So one of the things that you'll notice pretty quickly about Path of Exile, aside from the fact that it is bloody brilliant, is that a headload of items seem to be giving you big buffs to the fishing stat. And as a shrewd gamer, TM, trademark, you might be thinking to yourself, I know what's going on here. I'm going to hoard all of these items because clearly fishing is an integral part of this game. Maybe there's even a secret way to defeat the final boss by using fishing rod to do that. It's not as weird as it sounds. You could do it with Ganondorf, couldn't you? In one of the Legends of Zelda games. It's not weird. Not weird that you're hoarding all this fishing equipment like some weird bumbling guy just walking along the canals. The canal killer. Anyway, not the point. Let's have some of that, shall we? Gather it up. Well, before you go getting your tackle in a twist, my friend, let me lay something on you, dog. I'm not sure how to break this to you, but there's no fishing in Path of Exile. Like, at all. It is a total in-joke by Grinding Gear Games done to wind players up and have a little bit of a laugh at them. Yes, I know you're disappointed by this, and I know of many players who were conned by this red herring of an item. This guy right here, I definitely fell for this hook, line and bloody sinker. And yes, that line would be funny, but unfortunately my blood is at the point of fizzy that I'm pretty sure I'm turning to steam on the inside. Ow. Okay, so to be clear on this one, collecting the Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild is not a useless endeavour, because it does reward you with some pretty cool items. However, if you go beyond collecting what is absolutely necessary for getting all of the items from this big oaf over here, then you, my friend, are going down a path of utter pain. Do not do it. This is a warning. Because your dedication is actually going to open you up to what Nintendo clearly thinks of you, as if you collect every Korok seed in the game, and lest we not forget there are 900 of the bastards, you are rewarded with Hestu's shit. Oh, sorry, I mean gift. No, I don't. I mean literal shit. The devs knew what they were doing here. They, for some unknown reason, decided to punish those looking to uncover every area in the game and look under every stone by stating, well done, mate, have a literal piece of shit for all of the hours that you've just poured into this. Talk about a slap in the curds, right? And things only get worse if you look at the item description, which states that the gift absolutely stinks. This is like the icing on a cake, but the cake is made of feces, and the icing is also made of feces. On paper, the Nemesis sounds like it's going to be one of the greatest video game weapons, and say it with me, kids, of all time! It's got a cool name, a cool look, and it turns enemies to mulch in seconds. But then you remember that this is Cave Story, and Cave Story, well, it likes to mess with you. You bastards. Yeah, Cave Story is not exactly a game known for its willingness to help players out of tricky situations, and so, yes, the Nemesis does indeed come with some drawbacks, and when you find out what they are, you'll see why I had to add it to this not list. You see, as with every other weapon in the game, the Nemesis can level up and does so when you defeat enemies. However, unlike every other weapon, the Nemesis actually gets weaker as it levels up, to the point where its ultimate form sees you shooting out rubber ducks that only do 1 point of damage. Yep, dial a dickhead. Yep, I know. My life. Can you see why I hate this now? Can you see why taking a weapon as glorious at this and then turning it into one that flings dirty ducks at people for only 1 health of damage might slightly annoy me? Oh, my hand's locked in position with rage. That's worrying. Seriously, my self-esteem is taking more of a battering than these enemies here. And clearly the devs were having a wee giggle here because Nemesis was actually a Greek god who struck down arrogant people. And here in Cave Story, the Nemesis sure does humble you quickly with its crappy quackers. I honestly feel that when it comes to the discussion of what is the best Fallout game, the Fallout Tactics very rarely gets to sit at the adult table, and that really upsets me because you know what? This game shines with a really unhealthy irradiated glow. I love the focus on tense squad-centric combat, and yes, while it might not be for purists who enjoy the more granular dialogue-based experience, this had quality in spades where it counted. Yet before we slap on the war paint and start whooping like apes as we charge into combat, we might want to check what equipment we're bringing, because Microforte, who developed this title, snuck in a fair few clangers on purpose that you definitely don't want to be stuck with. Take, for example, the Shoshat, a rather impressive-looking heavy machine gun that you can find in the caves below Junction City. You know what, I'm going to do a good Columbo impression now. But there's just one thing about this that you should really know, because I said impressive looking, because using this gun, you're in for an experience. As you line up the gun to fire at your target and pull the trigger, nothing will happen. And the only sound that you'll hear are an empty clicking and maybe the laughter of the devs as they clearly conned another Fallout fool. The item description paints the full picture as well, listing this as easily the worst weapon ever made and that it would be lucky to get out 1 or 2 rounds before it jammed. Oh, they got me again, silly Jules. Old man Jules here, thinking that he could use a gun to fire a bullet in a game. Oh, what an idiot. What an absolute idiot. I'm the mug. I'm the fucking mug, am I? Jesus Christ, game, why do you torture me so for just wanting to play it? I'm gonna need a cold bath. And there we go, my friends. That was These Video Game Items Suck on Purpose. I hope that you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below, and put your suggestions for what else you'd like to see in this not list format. And obviously, Joe, I want to give a massive thank you to you because you've been a stellar supporter of this. Yes, you have edited some These Things Suck over on the main channel and are now taking up the reins as the gaming one as well. So be nice to him in the chat, everyone, or I'll beat you up. I won't do that at all. I couldn't. Look at me. Couldn't fight my way out of, what do they say? Couldn't fight my way out of a wet paper bag. Couldn't fight my way out of a soggy condom. Anyway, hope that you enjoyed that, and obviously I've been Jules. If you want to follow me over on Twitter, you can do so at RetroJ, or you can swing by Live and Let's Dice, that's Dice with a C, where I do all of my streaming outside of work, do lots of tabletop games and board games and D&D and stuff like that as well, so it'd be great to see you over there. But before I go, I just want to say one thing. Even though I clearly get over-exaggerated, it's all just tongue-in-cheek for these things here. I don't want you to go out into the world with hate or anger in your heart. I want you to go out and spread love, build bridges instead of burning them. So treat yourself with love and respect, because you goddamn well deserve it, alright? And do not let anything or anyone else tell you otherwise. Be an absolute ledge that I know you are, alright? As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. We'll see you next time here on These Things Suck. I'll catch you in a bit. Bye.